So the Brock Boeser trade rumors absolutely swirling. We talked about it for Montreal the other day and how that would be an ideal spot for the Montreal Canadiens rebuild if they could muster up the assets, which, let's be real, absolutely they could. They could make that work. But today, we're talking about something that would be very, very interesting. It would be in the division, and it would be one of the Canucks' biggest rivals in the Calgary Flames. But absolutely it's viable. And if you're a Canucks fan or even a Flames fan who's going to come out and say, oh, it doesn't happen because divisional trades don't happen, stop right there. They do. They're rare, but they absolutely can happen. Okay? So to me, when it's mentioned, like we're seeing on the HockeyWriters.com, that the Flames are expressing interest in Canucks Brock Boeser, I believe it. And Rick Dhaliwal in Vancouver, I know I've been following the Canucks for a few years. I keep tabs on the reporters and the news for the Canucks. And I know that Rick Dhaliwal is a pretty reputable source here. And the Flames have checked in on Boeser. Quote, as first reported by Rick Dhaliwal of Czech News, the Flames have poked around on Boeser over the past few days. This is an interesting development, though one that isn't all too big of a surprise, given that Flames GM Brad Treliving has been open about wanting to add another forward to his group since training camp began. And again, we know that the Flames have been really poking hard around Josh Anderson lately, but to me, Brock Boeser, if you're looking for a scoring forward who is relatively young and who doesn't have too much term, you won't be locked into a really bad contract for a while, Brock Boeser makes more sense. Like, let's be real. Boeser is a superior player to Josh Anderson, and he fits the Flames' needs more than Josh Anderson does. Okay, he's just more of a pure natural goal scorer, which is what the Flames need some help with right now. I could absolutely see a line of Lindholm, Huberdeau, and Boeser really working. Okay, and again, Elliot Friedman on the 32 Thoughts podcast mentioned that the Canucks are willing to move Boeser for less value than expected. So again, for the fans in Vancouver who are thinking that Boeser is going to fetch them 3 first-round picks and a new arena deal, it's not going to happen here, right? So there's going to be less value going back to the Canucks than originally expected, which definitely allows the Flames to enter the chat, okay? Because the Flames can definitely offer you some stuff. And again, because Boeser has multiple years left at over $6 million, there will have to be some money moved the other way in terms of a guy like Milan Lucic, for example. But again, that's not the main piece. Like, of course, if you're a Flames fan, you have to be realistic. You can't say, oh, we'll do Lucic, Lewis, Richie, and a 5th-round pick. Give us Boeser. It's not going to happen. They're not just going to take scraps. If they're going to take Lucic, you're going to have to sweeten the pot if you're the Flames. But again, the reason why it makes sense is because Lucic is from Vancouver. He would most likely waive, and he's in the twilight of his career. He's watching the sun go down on his NHL career, Milan Lucic is. He's from Vancouver, played for the Giants. He's a Vancouver Giants legend. He won the Cup in Vancouver with the Bruins. It would be a nice homecoming, end of the career for Luch right there, and I would make it work for both sides, which would be really nice. But again, there would have to be some other stuff going with Lucic, obviously, if you're sending Boeser the other way. The good news is the Flames have some good prospects, okay? The Flames have the first-round pick from this year. The Flames have guys like Connor Zary. They have guys like Jacob Pelletier. They have Matthew Phillips. They have Matthew Coronado. There are good prospects in the Flames organization that could go the other way if a Boeser trade was to go down. Because as we're seeing, it was made clear also by Elliot Friedman that the Canucks are most likely going to enter a rebuild, which means guys like Demko, guys like Boeser, guys like Horvat, I doubt they'd be able to move that new Miller contract they just signed, but I bet you they're going to try. I think they're going to really try to build the team around Pettersson and Hughes. That's what this new Canucks team is going to be built around. That's going to be the 2 core players. Everybody else, it might be liquidation, fire sale, right? So, to me, those types of young assets that the Flames can give up in a Boeser trade absolutely fit the bill for value. You might have to add 2 prospects and Lucic to sweeten the pot, or a really good prospect, as in Jakob Pelletier and a draft pick and Milan Lucic. It might have to be something like that in order to get Brock Boeser. But again, you have to find that middle ground, because Flames fans, they see that the Canucks are willing to take less to get rid of Boeser, and they think, oh, well, we can just give Lucic and Lewis. No, that's not what it is. But Canucks fans also can't assume that it's going to be like trading Boeser for Sidney Crosby or something. Like, no, that's not how this is going to work. It's got to be fair on both sides. And clearly, Vancouver, I guess, is willing for it to be a bit more fair for the opposing team side in order to dump Boeser. So we'll see what happens on that one. I think this could absolutely work. And yes, of course, teams would rather trade players outside of the division, but they're more willing to do it than you think they are. Seriously. People think it's just automatically no-go. I'm not doing it, no way if it's in the division. No, it can happen, absolutely. It's just if you're in the division, you might have to give a better offer and beat out the other teams better than if you weren't in the division. So that's just my 2 cents on the matter. I think Boeser would be a really good fit on the Flames. I would love to see it. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Of course, as usual, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.